Right, welcome to another edition of OnsideSA, and as you can see from our sartorial aspect, Postnet have come to party, Budge, with regard to last one standing.
Yeah, Paul, Chris Wheeler via our man, Postman Pat, Lawrence wife, had entered. And we used to phone me every Saturday and have a good chat. He said, Budgie, one day I want to try and help you with a sponsorship.
Thank goodness.
A couple of weeks ago, went to Umhlanga, met him, had a pint too many. Knowledgeable Chelsea fan, not many of those around, Paul. So had a good chat, and hopefully over the weekend we can try and do something all before the start of next week.
Excellent, and it's looking good, Budge. You send out those SMSs.
Yeah, Paul, that'll all go.
So it's 10 days' time.
Next Saturday we start, Paul.
Next Saturday, so it's 9 days' time, and obviously there's good football coming up, Budge, now with regard to the Community Shield.
Yeah.
That's on Saturday, I believe.
That's on Saturday.
And then you've got Friday night, you've got Burnley playing Huddersfield.
Championship starts this weekend, Paul. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think there's a Monday night game as well.
Fantastic. I really enjoy the championship.
Yeah, very competitive,
So there's a few teams that have come up from further down.
Yeah.
You know, so where are Sunderland? Did they
Sunderland play on Sunday. They play Coventry at home.
Championship again?
They won the playoff.
Yeah, Sunderland till Adar. Very good video. Okay, so that's the story at the moment. Don't forget last one standing. Budgie will be sending out all the info, and we're going to go from there. Right, let's talk show topics. Budgie, it's getting to that stage where there was a sort of rush of people to get bought in the transfer market, and that slowed down just a little bit. But the question I've got to ask you is, before I get back to Bafana, the woman, Banyana, I want to ask you about Ronaldo's situation.
Paul, he's now chasing personal targets in the Champions League. I don't blame him. He doesn't want to be part of the United rebuild. I understand that. But trying to force his way out, his agent's gone to Bayern Munich. They said, we don't want you. He went to Atletico Madrid, and I saw something on Sky this morning where the supporters, they don't want him either.
At Atletico?
At Atletico. They don't want him. He's not
played for the opposition, didn't he?
And also, Paul, he stands around with Atletico. They fly with their heads chopped off, Simeone's teams. Yes. So his options are limited. So I think it's 13 million United want.
Spurs?
Could go to Spurs. Harry Kane goes to Bayern. You never know. But Paul, a figure like that, personally, I wouldn't want him in the change room with all the greatness that he's brought in. If you're trying to rebuild,
you wouldn't want a hat trick every 3 games.
Paul,
he's got it. He's got it. But as he's a bit of an upsetting factor.
Yeah, Paul. The other thing is 2 players played great for United last year, Ronaldo and De Gea. The rest were nowhere.
Yeah.
So what do you want? It's the lowest we've finished in years. Great player, but.
But I know you've watched the friendlies and you've seen the influence of the new Dutch man in charge. What's your gut feel the early part of the season? You're diehard Man United.
Paul, let's see. There's a lot of players coming and going. Our midfield's the biggest problem.
Yeah.
We signed Eriksson. He scored yesterday, apparently, in a friendly against Wrexham. But Eriksson can play, Paul.
Yeah, he can play.
So let's just see.
So who will you keep? Fred?
You keep them all, Paul.
Will he?
End of August is the deadline.
Van Beek back?
Yes. I think he'll be slowly he'll disappear out the limelight, Paul. Especially with Eriksson. Yeah. But Eriksson and Bruno, 2 quality players. He's not in that class. So I think he'll move somewhere.
Okay, so that's Man United dealt with. Yep. Let's talk Tottenham because they're my team. And I was just looking on the mail this morning. There are a couple of last-minute moves. Well, it's not really last-minute, but I mean it with regard to the start of the league. And Paul Dybala, I should say. I always get his name wrong. He sent a message to Nicola Zaniolo as Tottenham linked with their own Dusan Vlahovic. Never my glasses on, I'm guessing. Dusan Vlahovic, that's how you say his name. Bayern Munich, I want to update on Kane. I don't think he'll go. And Bastoni, they're still trying to get Bastoni in. So they got Jed Spenson, that was the latest one. He didn't go to Korea. So there's a hub of excitement there, so let's hope they come through. What other teams are making inroads?
Paul, it's difficult because we know they're all on tour. Arsenal, I think, have made some great signings. And let's see, Paul, next week there'll be plenty of talk and we'll get more info because this week it's all about the championship and teams trying to get loan players in. But
right, let's go Banyana.
Yeah, Paul, brilliant. Paul, this has been a plan in the making. I read an article in a couple of years, but 3 years ago, they got a women's university going. And then they got the clubs and the PSL clubs to start a league. So slowly but surely it's been maturing. And Sundowns won the women's CAF championship. So this has been going on a while. And I Googled the team this morning. We've got 4 girls playing in Spain, one in Italy, one in Portugal, and one in Belarus. Our men's team haven't got close to that, Paul.
What is the problem here, Budge? Our men's team are going downhill quickly.
Paul, it starts at the youth.
We're like Cape Verde.
Yeah.
We're really down the log. But you've got to remember, they're calling for the boss's head.
Paul, I don't care how good you are as a coach. If you've got mediocre players, we've got 7 or 8 girls playing in Europe. How many men are playing in Europe? Percy Tau's been our best player.
Yeah.
And he's now, I think he's back. He was at Al Ali the last. I know they've
come
sold
back to
him.
Brighton, isn't he?
Don't know where he's gone, Paul, but he should have, if he'd been a goal scorer, he would have made it at Brighton, because Brighton have got a lot of good players, no finishes.
Yeah.
But he's our best player. You start going through the rest of them, and they're nowhere, Paul.
Norman nowhere, you're right. Okay, let's look at the Women's Euro final.
Yeah, Paul, it'll be a humdinger.
Now they're complaining in England, the washing's piling up, that's how the ironing's piling up, because the
piling
women
up.
are watching the women play.
Yeah,
They've
Paul,
done well.
Been brilliant, Paul. It's been a great example.
The 3 irons.
3 irons on the shirt, Paul. Let's hope they win it, because the Germans, you know what the Germans are, they don't get beat too often,
No,
Paul. It'll be
very
a close
good.
game.
Yeah, close game.
Let's hope they get the rub of the green.
That'll be very nice, because it's created a lot of interest. I don't personally follow it,
Yeah, I've watched
because
quite
I
a
think
few
it's too
games,
slow
Paul.
a game for me. But good luck to them. Well done to all of them, Right, those are our show topics. Anything else you want to discuss?
Paul,
One of my Spurs boys has gone to Preston North End.
Yeah, Parrott.
Troy Parrott.
And the other youngster from Man United has gone to Preston too. So let's see what happens. Paul, the Championship's a nightmare league, as we all know. There's been plenty of players sold in and out. So the first week is really thumb-sucking. But,
But if you're a very good player, which some of these youngsters are,
Yeah.
who are just... I wouldn't like to come to the ranks with a big club, because you don't get the exposure.
Well, that's it.
You don't get it. But you look, who are Man United bringing through the youngsters? Who is Arsenal bringing through? I'm saying youngsters,
Yeah.
these 17, 18,
Well,
19. Spurs aren't. Spurs are loaning them all out, The only one who's really come through is Skip, and Skip went through a loan program to
You've got to go through the loan, Paul.
Yeah.
And also matures you as an adult.
Harry Kane went.
Harry Kane, they all went.
Remember that photo on the bench?
That's right. There was a few of them. Was Vardy on the bench?
Vardy, Kane, and...
Was it Drinkwater?
Correct.
Yeah.
Famous photo on the bench
at
for
Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Week later, or not the week later, but that was the week they played for England.
Ferguson, Sir Alex used to send all the kids to Preston. Beckham's first game was at Preston. They all went there. Danny Welbeck. They all went to
So
Preston.
it's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few out on loan. Sure, we got some.
plenty.
I just feel sorry for Dane Scarlett and Troy Parrott and.
Well, it's hard when you got Sons and then they want to win. The managers want to win.
And then they buy quality players in the position these kids are coming through in,
Tricky.
Liverpool tried throwing a
Well,
youngster
look
in
where
there.
Bruce Krobler came. He came from America. Peter Beardsley. These top players, they didn't come through the ranks there. They went out as a youngster, then they got bought, and then their career started. And Harry Kane's a perfect example of that.
Yeah. Community Shield, Budge.
Yep.
This Saturday, it's at 6 o'clock in the evening after the Gold Cup. Liverpool, Man City.
We'll pull the odds up now, Paul. 14-10 Man City. Now, the problem Liverpool have this week is Alisson, their goalkeeper, is not playing, so it's Adrian in goals. So I think Man City, I like Man City are the two teams.
Will Haaland play?
Yeah, they'll all play. I watched them, they were on the other night.
Calvin Phillips, Haaland.
He came on, Calvin Phillips. I don't think he's going to be a major player in that.
He did well at Leeds, but it's a different setup.
Paul, Grealish came in. I think Grealish should have more of a start
I think Jack struggled a little bit because, he didn't get that many games. But what about this Darwin Núñez?
Well, he's the main man. Obviously he paid 85 million from...
So who's gone?
Well, for Liverpool, Mane's gone, Origi's gone, and Minamino's gone. So, Mane's the main man. I think that's a massive loss. And there's rumour Firmino could be going to Italy. Bobby Firmino. He'll start this week. They got beat last night, Liverpool, against Salzburg, but they played the squad players. To me, Man City have lost far more better players than Liverpool.
Liverpool beat Man City in the semi-final.
Yeah, but Man City played mix and match teams. It was 3-0 at half time, and then a few players came on and ended up 3-2. Okay. Paul, I think Zinchenko is a loss. Gabriel Jesus, good player, Paul. And, Sterling, a lot of people don't like him, but I do, Paul.
So their front row would be, they'll have Foden on the left.
Well, Foden will be on the left, and
Mahrez
they'll play Haaland and Mahrez.
Yeah. Okay, so
We'll see.
in
I
the
fancy
corner,
Man City are the two
that's-
teams.
Okay, Man City, good enough. Let's go to championship fixtures. So good to
Paul,
get back onto them, Budge.
yeah.
And they can run them up there now. Friday night, Huddersfield Town against Burnley. Burnley, you've got to be licking their wounds after dropping out of
Paul,
some
when you
years.
have a look who they've lost, Ben Mee, Tarkovsky, Pope, they've lost a lot of players, but Vincent Kompany's taken over there. He signed youngsters on loan from Man City. That was my
so
best bet of
that-
the weekend, 18-10. They're in our bets. But the left, Dwight McDeal, the good footer left, he's signed for Everton. And Max
He's a good
Cornet,
player.
the other African player, top player, Paul, plays on the front. He may not play. But Huddersfield have lost 3 decent players. They got beat in the playoff final last year. I still like Burnley of the two teams, Paul. 18-10, I think it's a great price, yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
You know, Blackburn, John Dole Thomason, the Dane, he's taken over from Tony Mowbray. Yeah, they've still kept one of the best players in the league. I think he's a Peruvian, Beriton Styles, or he's a Chilean, one of those players. QPR lost a lot of players in and out. You'll see. I don't see Blackburn losing, Paul.
Blackpool played well against the Premier League side the other day.
Yeah, that was Everton. Don't know if they're
4-2.
much of a Premier team, but yeah, Paul, you never know. Blackpool, the home form saved them last year. Reading, woeful. They've got a transfer embargo. Paul Ince is still there. They've lost their main goal scorer. Great chance for Blackpool to get on 3
front
points here,
foot,
Paul. Yeah, Reading rumoured to be favourites to go down just because of their players and the embargo. So,
What's the embargo all about?
well, it must be financial
Yeah,
irregularities,
yeah.
so that's it. You know, you've got to have your figures. And some of the
Okay.
guys, you know, these accountants, they chop and change. If you get caught, you've got a problem. So you're not allowed to buy players.
Who's in charge in Norwich?
It's the
Daniel
same guy,
Farquhar.
Dean Smith, the guy from Aston Villa.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, they tipped to come straight back up. They've kept the main players. Yeah,
Yeah.
13-10. Cardiff signed a lot of new players. Obviously lost 1 or 2. I like Norwich, Paul. 13-10. I think it's a good bet. Pookie's still there.
Yes.
They got beat by Celtic apparently in a good game the other day in a pre-season friendly. So you've got to take 13-10. They'll be, I think they're 6-1 to win the league. So you've got to fancy them, Paul.
Okay, and then Hull and Bristol.
Yeah, the second page, Hull lost their centre forward. Good young player. But you never know with Bristol City. They finished the league strong, Bristol City.
Strongly.
Strongly, yeah. Nigel Worthington's still there. Don't know how, because they lost, I think, 9 in a row at home. But last year, so that was the end of their promotion run. But should be a close game. Paul, I think 5-2 the draws in that particular game.
Okay,
Now, Luton is Stevie B's best bet. I was going to go with him, but I've changed it. We can't be on the same team. They got beaten in the playoffs last year. Birmingham City, ownership, chaos. Nobody knows who owns them. So I'll take a chance while the going's good. Luton, good home form.
a lot of draws first match.
Yeah.
People don't want to lose.
Yeah.
How'd you go? Oh, we drew. They don't. Oh, can't we
Just
got
don't get
first
beat.
game?
But
Don't
I
get
think
beat.
Luton will be close again this year. That Welshman's done a good job with them.
Millwall, Stoke City.
Paul, you know, Millwall at home, I think they had the 3rd best home record last year at the Den. Stoke City have been, you know, Paul, they a lot of money, Bet365 own them and sponsor them. They just don't seem to crack it. That Michael O'Neill, the Northern Ireland guy, still in
Yes,
charge.
still in charge, yeah.
You see the players coming and going, but another team that's in transition, a draw, a big result. But I don't see Millwall losing at home. And Rotherham sold their best 2 strikers.
Sure.
So Swansea, funny team.
Rotherham
Paul.
came up.
Rotherham won.
They
Came
came
up
up
with
and
Wigan.
sold their 2
Two
strikers.
strikers, Paul, but you know they haven't got money, these guys, so they've got
Yeah,
to sell
yeah.
them, get a good offer. So
Get
it should
money.
be Swansea, Paul, but Swansea have let us down over the years. But I don't see Swansea losing in that particular game.
Okay, Wigan play
Oh,
your
my
boys, your
boys,
beloved.
local derby. Wigan got promoted last year, Paul. They won the league in the last game. Preston, well, we've got your boy Parrott, and we've signed a few others. We've lost our main striker. He's gone back to Archer. He's gone back to Aston Villa. He was on loan. So you never know. Paul, a draw's a big player in
Yeah,
the draw.
yeah.
I don't see Preston getting beat, but I think a draw's a major player. Now, the next game, Middlesbrough, West Brom. Paul, those are 2 of the teams that are fancied to come up.
Yeah, tough game.
You know,
It's a draw,
Middlesbrough have
but
kept their main
Start
players.
with a draw.
You know, Steve Bruce is at West Brom, got rid of Andy Carroll, cleaned house. They're expected to have a good run, signed a few decent players reportedly, but another game with a draw looks a player, Paul.
So on Sunday they're giving us Sunderland
Well,
Coventry.
let's on, Paul. Let's hope they have a great start. You know, the Sunderland great fans, there'll be 50,000 fans. I think it's a stadium of light. Coventry under Mark Robbins signed another extension to his contract. They've got a good away record, Coventry. Finished the league well.
Mark Robbins.
Mark Robbins, the guy who saved Fergie's job, the blonde boy up front.
the striker for
Still there.
United.
They're good to watch, Paul. They play good football. So likewise there, both teams to score, I think, is a certainty. But the draw a major player. And Monday night's a big game. You know, Watford signed the guy or the manager from Forest Green Rovers. They got promotion. They've kept a lot of players. You know, that Saw up front.
He's a good player.
Very good player. And the other centre forward, the Portuguese
Where's
guy.
Troy Deeney gone?
Troy Deeney's at Birmingham. He's
okay.
gone there. But Sheffield United, they've kept a lot of the good players, Paul. So this will be a tough game. Sheffield United got done by Forest on penalties in the playoff semi-final last year. They played great. I think they're the team to beat alongside Norwich in the Championship. I like Sheffield United.
Are any team starting without points because of irregularities?
No. There's talk about Reading.
Yes.
But that's nothing confirmed yet.
Okay. Let's go to MLS.
Yeah, Paul, last week, thankfully, your man will be playing this week.
Yeah, let's have a look at the Los Angeles.
Yeah, that's Gareth Bale. You know, he came on and scored last week against Sporting Kansas City. It's a Friday night game in America, 5 o'clock our time, Paul. I think 5 to 10's a sitter. Seattle always play on the front foot, but defensively they're woeful. To me, 5 to 10 should be in all your bets.
Right.
Minnesota, I watched them last week. They won 5 or 6, Paul. That's Adrian Heath, a little Everton inside forward, done great. Portland unbeaten in 7. I think there'll be plenty of goals. Game. But I like Minnesota, Paul. They're great to watch.
Okay.
Chicago, my man's back, Shaqiri. I watched him. He scored and made a couple last week. They got the first result away from home in a long time. Atlanta, 8 away games, 2 draws, 6 defeats. My best bet, Chicago.
Yeah,
I've got to go with Shaqiri.
Take the even money.
You know, it's 5 to 2, Chicago to win, both teams to score. There'll be plenty of goals in that particular game. Charlotte, Columbus, Paul, 2 teams in form. The draw 23 to 10 is my suggestion in that particular game. Montreal going well in the Eastern Conference, but New York City, I think, will win that conference and get to the final. I've liked what I've seen the last 2 weeks. Defensively, they got a lot better.
Yeah.
At 14 to 10, I wouldn't put you off taking 14 to 10. On to the next page, we've got Philadelphia. Paul, I watched him last week. Played great. I think 6 to 10 is a gift. Houston, not for me. We have a problem. And I think it's 15 to 10, Philadelphia to win by more than 1 goal. So that's my particular play in that game. Inter Miami got beat 2-0 by New York City last week. The guy Higuain up front, Paul, he's still a good player. His touches,
very
don't
good
know how
player.
No one's grabbed him from Europe, but he's playing with his brother. But Phil Neville's still there, still struggling.
And Inter Miami?
Inter Miami, yeah, it's Beckham's team. So that's why he got the job. I don't see Inter Miami losing. Great home form, Paul, but there'll be goals in that game. Cincinnati, Joop Ston's old team. Difficult to play against, Paul. They park the bus and try and catch you on the break, but I don't see Inter Miami losing that game. Nashville, 7 to 10, I think is a bit short, but Vancouver got beat in the play. Sorry, they won the Canadian Cup during the week, so they may still be celebrating. Nashville, hard to beat at home, so win and draw for me, Nashville. Toronto, they got beat by Vancouver in the final. Away from home, they're woeful. New England, great home form, so 5 to 10 should be in your bets. Sporting Kansas City, this is Stevie B's best each way bet, Austin. Sporting Kansas City got beat on penalties this morning
so
by
he's gone for Austin.
Austin, I agree. That was going to be my each way bet as well. But we both couldn't be on the same team. 17 to 10, Paul, I think is a great price.
But why does the American League, the team struggle so much away from home?
Well,
is it the vast distances they travel?
Vast distances they travel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're playing at home, you've got to pull your finger out, otherwise you're gone. And you know how staunch these American guys are.
Yeah.
But Sporting Kansas City, bottom of the Western Conference, poor team. Austin are vying with LA to be the top seed. So 17 to 10, I can't believe that's the price, but I'd rather take it and say nothing.
Okay, Dallas?
Dallas won last week for the first time in 6. LA Galaxy away from home, Paul, they can't defend. And
who played for LA Galaxy?
Chicharito is still the captain, but he's lost that yard, Paul. He's not scoring, his touch is gone. I see Dallas, I don't see Dallas getting beat, Paul. Defensively, they sound. I don't see them getting beat. The next team, San Jose, 4 wins of the last 6 at home. Real Salt Lake lost 4 of the last 6 away from home, but it should be the home team. But real San Jose, not for me, Paul. I watched them last week, so it could be all 3 in the exotics there, Paul. And DC United, Rooney's team, I watched them last week, Paul. They can't defend. It's woeful. Open gates at the back. And Orlando City beat New York Red Bulls in the semi-final of the Cup 5-1 this morning. So they'll go and cock a hoop, 19 to 10, Paul. It should be in your bets, but I can't have. I feel sorry for Wayne Rooney.
Let's hope Rooney can.
He's got to put his boots on, Paul. That's what he's got to do.
Do you think so? Isn't he carrying a bit of condition?
Yeah, but Paul, when you watch some of those guys playing, rather take his condition. Some of them have got no condition, Paul. They're woeful.
All right, let's look at your soccer picks.
Yeah, Paul, the Gold Circle bets are back again, and our Soccer 6, which is obviously on Saturday. I've gone, Blackpool win and draw at home against Reading. I'm banking Luton to beat Birmingham City. I don't see my beloved Preston North End losing in the local derby against Wigan. I've gone the field in the Liverpool-Man City game. I'm banking Ajax Amsterdam to beat PSV Eindhoven. And I'm going the field. I watched Bayern Munich last week when they got beat by Man City. They're a long way from being fit. Yeah, so I'm going RB Leipzig, who play them at home in the German Super Cup 2-1-6. Pumalela Soccer 6, I'm going Blackburn, win and draw at home against Queen's Park Rangers. I'm chancing Norwich City to win at Cardiff City. I'm going Bristol City, win and draw against Hull. I'm going Millwall, 1-2 at home against Stoke City. Have to side with one team, so I'm going Man City, win and draw against Liverpool, and ending up with Middlesbrough, win and draw at home against West Brom, 192.
Right, Budge, let's go
Gold
on.
Circle Soccer 10. Yeah, I'm going Blackburn Rovers, win and draw at home against Queen's Park Rangers, signing with Blackpool to avoid defeat against Reading. I'm going for Norwich City to beat Cardiff, Luton Town to beat Birmingham City, and I don't see Swansea City losing at newly promoted Rotherham United. Onto the second page, I'm going Preston, win and draw at Wigan Athletic, siding with Man City in the Community Shield against Liverpool, win and draw, I'm going Middlesbrough, win and draw against West Brom. I'm chancing Ajax Amsterdam to beat PSV Eindhoven.
Are they the players the club had lost?
A couple have lost, but they've signed a few players as well, Paul.
Okay.
So that's the Dutch Super Cup League and Cup winners, and I'm going Bayern Munich, win and draw against RB Leipzig, 256.
Okay, then
On to the
big one.
Soccer 13, Paul, mainly championship games. I'm going Man City, win and draw against Liverpool. I'm banking Blackburn Rovers to beat Queen's Park Rangers, Norwich City to beat Cardiff City, Blackpool to beat Reading, Luton Town to beat Birmingham. I'm going Millwall, win and draw at home against Stoke City. I don't see Swansea City losing away from home against Rotherham United. Our second page, I'm going Preston, win and draw at Wigan. Going Middlesbrough, win and draw at home against West Brom. Siding with Bristol City to avoid defeat at Hull City, and ending up with our usual 3 Swedish games. I'm going GAS Sundsvall, win and draw against Varberg.
Sundsvall.
AFC Eskilstuna, win and draw, to be too strong for Dalkurd. And top of the league, Halmstad to beat Landskrona Bois, 256. On to our Budgies Bets, where let's hope we can keep the roll going, Paul. Starting off in the championship, where I'm chancing Burnley to beat Huddersfield on Friday, Luton to beat Birmingham City, and Norwich City to beat Cardiff City, 2,300 to 200. The championship, our both teams to score sides are Millwall Stoke City, Wigan Preston, Sunderland Coventry City, and Watford Sheffield United on Monday, 2,000 to 200. On to the American MLS, where I'm going for Minnesota to beat Portland and both teams to score. The Chicago Fire to beat Atlanta and both teams to score, 2,200 to 200. Our American MLS team goals only, I'm going Los Angeles, Chicago, Inter Miami, Philadelphia, and Vancouver, all to score over 1.5 goals, 3,000 to 200. Brazil, the league's in full cry, and I like what I see, so I'm chancing 2 fairly rough teams. I'm going Cuiabá to win at home against Fortaleza, Goiás to win at home against Coritiba, and Flamengo to beat Atletico Goianiense, and both teams to score no. So the home team to win to 0. It's just a slightly better price than match bet. And our Collis King 6 or Nixa. The one teams, can't believe how the one team's elevated the price, Paul. I'm going Luton to beat Birmingham City, Los Angeles to beat Seattle, Philadelphia to beat Houston, New England to beat Toronto, Austin to beat Sporting Kansas City, and Flamenco to beat Atletico.
It's a big winning prize.
Paul, at bar Austin 17 to 10, they're all really odds-on shots. So great price to bets on. Let's hope we can land it.
Lovely, well played, Budge. Now, the best bets is always very interesting. I've got them in front of me. I'm going to do Steve's first.
Yeah.
Steve has gone for
Luton Town.
Luton Town.
Yeah.
Which you like as well.
I like them as well to beat Birmingham City, Paul.
And you have gone with Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. That's my man Shaqiri, won the last 3.
If those 2 win, it's 3 to 1 the double.
Yeah.
You know, your best bet and Steve's best bet. Just let everyone know that Steve's in Vancouver at the moment.
Yeah.
He's a businessman travelling. He'll be back in the London studio for the start of the big league. So it's always quiet without Stevie. We miss his flair. And then the best bet, the value bet. Stevie's gone for Austin.
Yeah, I was going to go as well, Paul. I agree with you.
You're going Friday night.
Friday night, Burnley. Yes, I did it yesterday, Paul, but they've lost 2 of their main strikers. But still, they've got JJ Rodriguez and a few players.
They've got a couple.
They've got plenty of
That's
players.
where youngsters come through.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. But don't forget the last one standing starts next week. And we're getting a big squad together. It's been revamped. Budgie's looking at a couple of options. And obviously there's women's prizes and that type of thing. So make sure you're ready to come on next week for last one standing. And until next time, stay on side.